Welcome into the channel, guys. As always, it is I, Paladevin, and it's update time. It is, in fact, the end of January, which means we need to check in on the old Road to Requiem challenge. That's right, Resident Evil Requiem coming February 27th, and I tasked myself with beating basically all the mainline Resident Evil games. You know, a few of the spin-offs, your Dark Side, Umbrella Chronicles, stuff like that, not as big, but like Revelations, Revelations 2, and of course any of the numbered entries, Code Veronica, they have all been taken to task so far. And that is why this video exists, because it is in fact time for that update. Guys, I'm not 100% sure we're going to make it in time, and I am really going to try, but if I take you all the way back to August, you're seeing a little bit of the footage here with the little sizzle reel I put together. Guys, I'm excited. It's a new Resident Evil game. Why wouldn't I be excited? It is my favorite video game series, but also being able to go back and revisit the classics on the PS5 Pro has been pretty cool. Especially since I added RE1, 2, and 3. So you got the original trilogy, you got Code Veronica, then you got the remakes respectively. You know, Resident Evil 0 up in there, Resident Evil 1 make, and then 2 make, 3 make, of course, doing their thing. Resident Evil 4, I revisited the original, but if there is time, I will also try to just throw the remake in there as well. At the very end. We'll see how that goes. But as of right now, as of this moment, I am up to Resident Evil 6. And the one thing I want to bring about in this challenge, or in this, I guess, perspective reevaluation of the series, whilst talking about this challenge and getting excited about the new game, is that the idea that Resident Evil is a specific thing is insane. I have sat here and I have played all of these games all the way up to Resident Evil 6. I have seen bombastic action. I have seen kind of tense horror. I've seen good meldings of both. The only thing that I can give as kind of a constant, the only constant really the series has, it is this could have been done as a B movie. Like, Resident Evil can be really, really goofy sometimes, and that's what makes it such a great series. Like, you have a beautiful cast of characters, and yes, some of the games do take themselves too seriously. I did mention Resident Evil 6 is being worked on. It's one that does take itself seriously, but there are still some jokes and fun experiences in it throughout. That's the one takeaway I want people to understand. If you're coming into Resident Evil and you've heard like, oh, well, it has to be this way, that way, that is grossly incorrect. As a huge fan of the series, no, Resident Evil does not need to be a certain way. It doesn't need to be first person. It doesn't need to have fixed camera angles. It doesn't have to have behind the back. It doesn't have to have new characters, and it doesn't have to have returning characters. It doesn't have to have missing threads or anything like that suddenly get woven in just so that we can tie them off to appease people as well. The reason that I do say this in almost a ranty format is because you're going to hear that. You're going to hear that. Now, instead of it has to be, I think the better terminology would be, I would like to see that. I would love to see Billy Cohen or Carlos Oliveira return to Resident Evil. I would love to see Rebecca Chambers in a playable game. I would love to see some of the greats. Yes, I would love to see Jill Valentine come back and Claire Redfield, because just experiencing Claire's Revelations 2 campaign was fantastic. Like, Revelations 1 with Jill and Parker, that is a great game. That's a fun experience. So yeah, I'm right there with you guys on some of these. Hey, I would love to see some of the greats. But I'm also not in the camp of scoffing when greats show themselves. The camp of, oh, well, we've got too much Chris, we've got too much Leon, is like, nope, I don't see that in the least. But I will say everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I just really love how this series did evolve over time, and that's one of the most fun things about Road to Requiem so far, is all the way up, even through Leon and Chris's RE6 campaign, like, all the way up from Resident Evil 0, the classics, up to where I'm at right now, gameplay hasn't been identical. You might get close, Resident Evil 2 and 3 are pretty close to each other, but they're not. Like, when you play Resident Evil 3, you've got a lot more ammo, it's a lot faster paced of a game, and ironically, that's how Resident Evil 2 Make and RE3 Make are as well. Resident Evil 2 dials it back a little bit in 2 Make, whereas RE3 is like, no, we want that fast-paced action. So, like, they've been doing this forever. And that's what makes this series so awesome, is it's always incorporating new things. Now, as it stands, here's the official update. I've got RE6 getting worked on right now. I am going to be starting Jake Muller's campaign, still have to finish Ada's campaign, and then Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village will remain in the canonical timeline of games that I have for mainline. Again, I might throw RE4 Make in there. It does depend on what kind of time we're looking at. But, in large part, those are the three, and we don't have a lot of time. Again, it is the end of the month. February is coming. Like, so it's going to be grind time finishing up and having a blast. I hope. And when I pitched this and I threw it on TikTok and I had the trailer up on YouTube for a little while, I was really hoping that a lot of people would also be kind of considering going on the journey. And if you have, or if you've done this before with other Resident Evil games, maybe you did it when RE7 was coming out or Village, let me know. Let me know your love for the series. Let me know some of the disdain as well, because I know I came off very ranty and very, I felt like I grabbed all kinds of different things to bring up as far as potential criticisms. And if you have criticisms about Resident Evil, I would love to hear them. I would love to hear who you might want to see return. Or if you want anyone to return at all. If you want them all to just like somehow die or something like that, awesome. Every player is entitled to their own right, to their own experience, and I hope you're enjoying yours with Resident Evil. We've got less than a full month left, guys. I will be providing one final Road to Requiem update the day that the game launches. That's right, on the 27th, I will be providing a final update where we will find out if I made it or not. So continue to tune in, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. As always, I will see you in the next one.